You know what? That's all right. The guy's got to play a grand finals right now. I don't blame him for not wanting to talk to a bunch of nerds. So let's get into this game and see if Ground Zero can complete this run, defending champs coming back for the title again.
And this is going to be a spicy one. I think this actually matches up pretty evenly, especially if Mindfreak comes out and plays as well as they did early on in their series versus Renegades. I think you've got all the speed that you could ever want in the midfield coming out of Caveman Ben and Amphis, and it's all about how Requiem, Fever, Jules, and Express are able to adjust to all the madness that's going to happen around those challenges.
Yeah, the Ground Zero definitely a strong contender here. And again, like we said, defending champs, but got to deal with this guy named Fever. Fever has been insane in these past few series. Definitely the MVP of Game 7 that got them into this overtime, and they are warmed up right now. So we'll see how this goes. Caveman Ben in the midfield with the ball control. Trying to dribble. Express goes for the flick. It's going to be a bit high. Gets Prince off the crossbar. Requiem's there to finish it off. That's the first goal of the finals.
Great patience here from Requiem. Caveman Ben doing an excellent job making Express think real hard about it. Jules expecting that ball to tip out to the corner, I think. And when it just tipped off that crossbar and went back into the middle, had to make a late adjustment. And Requiem was just following behind the play, so he just gets to the ball a little earlier and has a much easier time adjusting to it than the guy facing the wrong way. So another early start for Mindfreak, and they've played very well whenever they were out in front in their semifinal matchup. And see if they continue to play a little keep away. That's what they were content doing versus Renegades. We'll see if they try it versus Ground Zero.
Now, versus Renegades, they put on a 3-game shutout and then got shut out for 3 games. Caveman making a look to make it 2 goals right here. The demolition paves the way. It's 2-0 for Mindfreak.
Great control from Caveman Ben, and how about buying time to let Requiem get on the goal line and get 2 demos? I mean, he dies for the second one, but the first one is the one that really counts, and slowing down the backup option also opens the door and keeps it there for Caveman Ben to turn in a beautiful flip reset. 2-0 early on.
Only a minute and a half into this game. Already, Ground Zero's got their hands full. Few land boys on this team. Looking to be the best in the land. This Fever takes it in the corner. Challenged by Express. Look for the bump on Caveman Ben. Not going to find it. Nobody's home on the goal. Jules is going to push this one through. I think the setup might have gotten taken care of the goalie as well.
Yeah, free ball for Jules. I think
no. Oh, they
Fever
took care of themselves.
Yeah, Fever was thinking about going for boost in that corner. I think maybe expecting Requiem to stay on the goal line, or either way, someone got crossed up back there with the communication, and Caveman Ben finally lost a challenge.
And poor Fever clearing his teammate out of the way. Yeah, he was probably looking for a boost, but got caught up in traffic. Bit of a fender bender. Gets Ground Zero onto the board. Now we'll see how they equalize. If they can. Requiem to trap it on the ground. Jules takes it off his hood. Challenges on the wall. Bumps Caveman Ben into a pass. Express is up for it. Sends it down. Ooh. And off the post. Back out it goes. And here comes Fever over the top of Amphis. Going to try to at least get to the midfield. Requiem on the challenge as well. Picks up the midfield boost, and he'll look to dump this into the midfield. Onto the backboard instead he goes. Here's the shot from Caveman. Just a bit wide. Jules now going to try and counterattack.
Now, those are plays where you really got to be careful if you're Mindfreak. Yes, you've beat the defense, but you also need to recognize that you are stretching that play as far as it can go. And when you get Caveman Ben going in there to try and force a shot, and it's very unlikely it's going to go in, those are what you call low percentage plays. Oh! And very rarely do they end up well. They rally back and make it back to the defensive line for that stop. But that is something to keep your eye on for Mindfreak. You don't want to see them stretching to make a play happen.
Here comes Requiem through the air onto the backboard, drops the guillotine, and there's no one there to finish it off. Well, I'll take that back. Caveman was there, just actually missed the ball. Now Jules, long play down the field. Amphis up to try and take the shot. What a bump onto the goalie. Requiem covers it up on the goal line. Save your medal for Requiem to hold on to their lead.
Ooh, nice tip from Jules and Caveman Ben there. And Express, how do you handle this? Fever with the right idea. Just take it on a dribble. A lot of space being given from Ground Zero. Good recognition from Jules to realize that he's just has to put the pressure on the guy to see if they give the ball up. But Ground Zero, that's something you don't want to do. That's what was happening a lot early on in the series, and now Express is on the string of Caveman Ben as well, and everyone in this entire final should be scared of what Caveman Ben can do with the ball if they watch that semifinal.
Jules trying to put pressure on. Here's Requiem looking for the late touch. Amphis in the corner will win one. Now up against Caveman Ben. He's got some space to work with, and he'll use it to place it to the corner and onto Requiem's hood. He flips it past Jules, and here's the cover from Express. This one off the crossbar. Couldn't find the second touch either. 1 minute remaining, and right now, Ground Zero still trailing and getting pressured in their net.
Big touch from Requiem to waste time. Only a minute left, but you really feel like Ground Zero are the ones controlling pace of play here. Dish into the middle, tips off of Express, back into the corner. Unfortunate. You felt like Ground Zero was about to be able to put the squeeze on there.
One of the boxers, Caveman, looking for a shot. Jules gets a block on him. Amphis and Express going to try and work together here. Amphis goes for the slow play, and Requiem able to dunk him in the midfield, get onto the backboard again. Caveman Ben going to look for some security. He's got a full tank of boost. How does he use it? Now looking for goalies. Amphis not going to be in the best spot, but Jules and him will pitch it to the corner. Jules with the chase. A miss from Requiem. Looks for the goalie.
Yes.
Express not going to get it. Fever dodges the demolition and gets the save.
His name might be Fever, but he is ice cold. Great nerves on the goal line there to make the save. 5 seconds left. Can Ground Zero get there? Find out.
2-1, clock at 0. Express not going to have enough boosts to get this the whole way. He's going to need help. It's through, off the backboard so fast, difficult to react to. Mindfreak will take game 1, 2-1.
Excellent game 1, and you gotta applaud Mindfreak for being able to find a way to get out in front early. And again, really, it was just about managing risk whenever they went on offense. Got a little ahead of themselves once or twice, but no real issues. But from then on, it was all about, do Ground Zero have the ability to execute? And the problem I think they ran into there was they just never were able to get the ball into a place where they had space. Mindfreak doing an excellent job whenever they were back on defense, making sure someone was in position and could always just challenge and put pressure on the first person with the ball on Ground Zero, make them show their hand, and then adjust from there. And where you're really looking for Ground Zero to be successful in that department is going to be in the hands of Amphis. He's the guy with the speed and the guy who is absolutely has the capability to really make a defense collapse under pressure with how fast he can be out of the midfield. So you're looking for him to be a little bit more involved, not necessarily as the first man, I think, but as the support. So when Amphis can get into that second role or maybe jam the ball back into the offensive third as a third man, that's when I think Ground Zero will start to make Mindfreak sweat.
Amphis on the bottom of the scoreboard there for Ground Zero. Calling him the key to victory here. We'll look for him to step up in game number 2. So we move over to the east. We'll see Requiem, Caveman, and Fever look to extend their series lead. Here's Caveman Ben looking for a follow-up shot. Jules, 1 save, make it 2 right off the gates. 7 seconds in, he's already on the board.
I wrote that one off. I thought Jules was not going to make it, but
what was that?
What a goal here from Mindfreak.
They cooked this one up in some weird laboratory here. Caveman Ben back to Requiem, the aerial 1-2-1. And man, Mindfreak, my mind's freaking out. Good job.
Another dangerous one. The early lead. It's all about how Mindfreak protect it. They know they don't have to push too hard. And again, that one slips through Caveman Ben. Little backflip there. But Ground Zero. Just get somebody with the ball on a dribble and let Amphis make the adjustment like that. Aced it. The speed comes out. Tipped ball into the middle. It's loose. Who wins the race? It's Amphis.
This is related to the diagram Yummy was drawing on the desk before this series. If you get the ball behind all 3 players, you got a really good shot of scoring, especially if the ball's already going into the goal. So tie game here, 30 seconds in. And Ground Zero don't wait so long this time to get things started. To be fair, they did equalize decently quickly in game number 1. Here's Amphis through the air. You said he's got the speed, and he's the player to watch. Gets it through 1 player, and then covered up by Fever. Now looking for the dribble, takes the Fennec to the air, goes for the air dribble onto the side wall. He's gonna need teammates, gets it into the box, but no one crashes in. The defense clears quickly. We'll go back to midfield.
Now that's what you don't need from Ground Zero. You cannot afford a miscommunication there where both players call it and then both players peel off, because that just lets Mindfreak get reset there, and they are back in control of the ball. Need to iron that out. Requiem's been going for a couple of those, but nobody can handle it on the goal line. Fever able to just waltz through the box and score.
It's like they got a force field pushing the ball away from them. None of them could touch it. Fever will just send it through. The ball sitting right there in front of the net, begging to be scored. Mindfreak will take the lead back. Cheat up from Jules on the kickoff. We'll go for the bump and take the midfield boost, try and get the early pressure. Express out to Jules on the full tank. Comes back into Amphis, onto the backboard. Jules up for it. Couldn't get it through Caveman. It's out to Amphis, into the box once more. Requiem on the stop. Ooh. Onto the backboard once more. There was one player up already. Jules got it in front of the box. Express not able to wrap around it in time and keep it tucked in nicely in that box. We'll see Mindfreak break back to midfield. Requiem against Jules. Pinches high. Fever will look to challenge. Express's touch at the wall and gets it. Requiem tries to bump out the goalies. It's over the top of Jules. It's going to need one more player, though. And the clear from Amphis going to be good. Still keep it just a 1-goal game.
Oh, Amphis. Great dismount from the wall. Just misjudged the landing. I think he had the right idea going for the carry out of his own half. Now, ground zero. Just looking for a way out. Requiem, solid defense. Express is beat. And Amphis is beat, but it's off the post. Requiem, I didn't expect that one to break through at all.
That was a nice idea. Keep the ball glued to the ground. Any jump means it won't matter. And here on the other end, same sort of situation. Beating the last defender, but the touch that beats the defender only beats the defender. It doesn't actually put the goal on target. And because they need that extra touch at the end, neither team able to score on either side there. Now Amphis low on boost. Pass down to Jules, looking for the shot, blocked by Fever.
That's exactly what I was talking about, though. Amphis just playing disruption with the defense, really making them sweat. He's winning the races to those balls when they're just stuck there in that midfield and throwing it back into the mix, which is making it tough to handle.
Caveman Ben sends it high, and Express lofts it to the air. Jules now on the edge. Caveman Ben picks it up, back to midfield. Amphis will pick up the punt midair. Express missed the ball. Will end up in the Mindfreak corner. While taking his time getting back to midfield, these touches going more vertical than horizontal. A nice shot from the midfield is high again. Caveman Ben has to turn around for fear of pushing it back into an advantageous spot for the other team. Now Requiem on the other end. Keep the ball high on a touch from Express. It'll travel across the ground zero backboard.
Very similar situation that we had from game one. About a minute 15 left and a nice dish looking for Amphis, but he's just going to have to work a little magic here in the corner, and Caveman Ben doesn't even let him think about it. They run into each other as well. Ground zero, again, a little tongue-tied, and it's open. Oh, no.
Confutatis maledictus, my friend. You just got requiemed as he comes back through one and now up against two. Nah, you're going in the goal too. I'm scoring the car and the ball. 3-1, Mindfreak taking this lead, and a decisive lead now with only a minute left to go, Chiefs.
Just unfortunate. Decisive. I would say very safe, but 2 goals in a minute definitely feels possible. Just a matter of to ground zero get one early enough to make it feel possible, and Amphis basically needs to score this.
Amphis trying. He runs into Fever and honestly lost control of the ball before he would have been able to take the shot. Even if Requiem wasn't there, the touch just on target was going to have to go in by itself.
He was trying to go for the bump, just push that defender out of the way and let it just fall in.
He's doing a good job on the setup game, but it's so high. A nice shot from Express. I said the setup was high. Express knew it would be and was already on the ceiling.
Yeah, it collects that midfield boost. That takes a crazy skip off that backboard. Doesn't hit the ceiling, just goes straight into the midfield. And Express far enough back to see it coming. Got right with it, drilled it into the goal. So they got life. 30 seconds, definitely possible, but they need to remain in control of the ball.
Jules to the air. 30 seconds remaining, like you said. Ball control key right now for ground zero. Can't really afford to be losing challenges or give free touches over to Mindfreaks. They have to control this ball and get it in enemy territory. Amphis with the attempt. Getting the bumps, getting the demolition onto another. Ball going to be pressed forward. No, the touches were to the side, not to downfield. Now up to Amphis. Takes the shot just a bit wide. Follow-up blocked by Requiem. All the way down. Jules is going to have to do it all by himself, and the ball goes over his head and will hit the ground. Mindfreak take it 3-2 in game 2.
Yeah, that end of regulation just goes back to how they handled that play. Obviously, Jules is playing the challenge, not expecting Amphis to get the demo on the guy. So Jules is thinking, I have to fight for the ball, when in fact it's a free touch. Ends up smashing it off the sidewall, wastes precious time, and they just can't quite get it together in time. But well played from ground zero. And again, it's that nice early lead from Mindfreak. Again, a lot of good things, I think, from ground zero there on the offensive side of things. It's just a matter of having the people in position to win those follow-ups and have the boost. So you got to give credit to Mindfreak for controlling all of those aspects on defense and never being caught in a terrible spot that they couldn't handle.
We've talked a lot about how teams play from ahead or from behind. And Mindfreak, clearly a team that plays clean when they've got that lead. They score first. They're able to maintain that lead. We saw that in their series against Renegades. They were scoring early. They were shutting them out completely. And then when we saw Renegades get on the board first, they struggled to take those wins. But with Requiem playing as well as he went, Requiem, more like Requiem. Am I right, Achieves? Hey, let's get into game 3 and just move on from that moment.
You can have that one.
Here comes Jules. Requiem out to Fever, looking for the long field pass. Now into the goal. Jules out that backboard gets the clear. Amphis, the midfield boost not there after kickoff. Fever to the side. Caveman Ben gonna try. Jules, a stretch for this. Nah, Fever's got him beat. Now Requiem onto the backboard, looking for a double tap. Broken up by Jules, drops it into his own corner. And a miss from his teammate. He's going to try and follow this up. Gets called off by Amphis behind him. They'll have a dual threat as they move forward. One player lurking at the goal line, or at the midfield line, to try and adjust for that third man pressure. But Amphis stalled out at the midfield. A down infield pass. Express can't reach it. Oh, Jules gets the ball, bounces 15 times. It was just had to slip behind it. Fever can't beat Express. Follow up from Ben. Finally puts it in. And Mindfreak's right back where they like to be, in the lead.
Patience is a virtue. Requiem forcing Jules into the back of the net causes Express to have to dive from far away. Can't get a quality clear. Just pings right back off the post into the middle. And Caveman Ben, patient and just waiting for the chaos to resolve itself so that he can drop the hammer.
First minute. Mindfreak has yet to get to 4 minutes on the clock without a goal. Fever looking for a long shot, looking for goal number 2. Jules will scoot it away in the nick of time. Requiem in for the follow-up and slams it home. 3:48 on the clock, and Mindfreak looking to take match point as quickly as possible.
Great dive here from Requiem, and that is a scary ball to go for. It feels like it demanded perfection, but when executed properly, I mean, who's gonna say you're wrong? Requiem gets out in front of one, makes a snap read. Even with his 2 teammates fairly close behind him, if he didn't get that ball, they were gonna be in trouble, but he turned it into a goal, so he looks like a genius.
Express into the corner. Amphis now to chase it. And like 3 players there from ground zero on the clear attempt. Not even a pass attempt, not a shot attempt. Goal number 3 goes in. Ground zero's starting to look just a little bit rough on defense.
Yeah, stuck here on the goal line. Jules with 40 boost, just trying to figure out how to even follow the play. And then it just goes off the backboard out into the middle, and he's just stuck there in the corner. No momentum. I mean, he can't. He's just got to hope that he's going to have a chance at it. But when you drill it top corner, you can't do much.
3:18 left to go in game number 3. And Mindfreak's yet to drop one here. The long clear. Requiem to the corner. Jules gets beat by Caveman Ben. And it's starting to feel like there is not a single weak link on this Mindfreak's team. Every single player doing their best when they have the ball. Winning every challenge in the midfield, getting the setup in front of the goal. Caveman Ben gonna look for it. Just a little bit too late on the shot. It would be wide into the corner. But Fever turned around, got so much space. Caveman Ben shoots dead center, blocked by Express. Requiem's touch high. Fever on the 3rd shot, too low. Caveman Ben can't get it through Express. 4 shots turned away. Defense starting to feel a little bit more in sync.
He's saying defense feeling in sync, but if you look at that shot column, it's a disaster. That's the first one that they've got all game. That is the first shot on target in game 3 for ground zero. A breakaway saved at the last second.
Look, the director Campbell's on the other end of the field. I don't really know how that didn't go in, but how did that not go in? I don't understand how they didn't score. Jules finally puts one in. We'll get ground zero on the board. They got 2 minutes and 10 left to go to bring this one back.
Plenty of time to work with. Requiem actually a pretty good challenge, but Jules, that first touch, as soon as that one came out, Fever was toast, completely blindsided by him as well. Didn't even see Jules approach, just swooped in from off camera, got that perfect chip up, and Fever was far too close to be able to make an adjustment. Great first touch from Jules and an awesome goal.
Fever with an attempt. Requiem now to stop it. Here comes Fever to beat Amphis. Requiem's looking for the setup, but out of boost. Couldn't take to the air. Now Amphis with a pass into Express. An extra goal right here would be huge. Here's the shot from Jules off the ground. Fever had too much time to get back down. Bounces over the offending player, blocking him on the goal line, and makes the stop. And now they're looking for security on the other end. Caveman Ben beaten by Amphis over the top of Requiem. Fever gonna follow this one wheel to wheel as Amphis tries to follow it into the corner and get it out in front of the goal. Caveman Ben with a miss. Jules with the opportunity and the block. Requiem gets another save, a savior medal here.
Almost disaster for Mindfreak. A straight collapse off what should have been a pretty routine rotate back, but slips through 2 players on the wall and crazy diving stop from Requiem and a hard pinch back to the blue side. Caveman Ben more than happy to just let that one roll and buy time for the defense to get set here.
Try to take to the edge. Jules through one. Amphis, the demolition in goal could have opened the gates there, but Caveman Ben gonna be respawning before any shots come through. There's a nice one. Caveman Ben on the respawn makes an epic diving save off the backboard. You can't buy a goal off of Mindfreaks right now.
And it's unfortunate too because they open up the goals behind it. Yes, they make the first save, but Amphis had a chance to put that ball away again, and that first touch just didn't quite have the control that he needed. Got a little too far under it and couldn't return to be in command of the ball and just let an opportunity slip away, and now they really got to push here.
Oh, Amphis looking for Jules, but they're playing man-to-man coverage at this point. Mindfreaks, they're just always on top of them. No shots ever open. They don't even need to make interceptions. They just cover it up by jumping better. Here's Fever off the backboard. Somehow that read is good. Express over to Amphis now into an empty corner. Amphis going to be out of boost. Express is going to try and set up Jules here because it's the only option he's got, but Jules gets blocked by the plays over the top of 2. 5 seconds left. No goals down. There's no way to score the 2 at 0-second time. Mindfreak 3 up, 3 down right now. 1 away from being your major champions.
Well, we've seen this one before. Mindfreak again out to a nice early lead, but this time around, Ground Zero didn't start getting on offense until halfway through the game. 0 shots for 2.5 minutes, playing nothing but defense. And sure, they were able to bring it back and start putting something on the scoreboard. But that is not what you want to see. And honestly, you were talking about how Mindfreak doesn't feel like they have a weak link. I think the biggest benefit to them in this series so far has been their communication. They never call each other off. They all understand exactly what's about to happen. They understand what they're all going to do in this game, and they are peaking at the right time.
They absolutely are. Grand Finals, great time to play your best Rocket League possible. And we've seen them here before, though. We watched them in the semifinals, get up 3 games, and then drop 3 games straight. The question for Mindfreaks is not, are they good? The question is, can they close out the most important series of their tournament, maybe of their careers at this point? And we're about to find out. Also, a key difference. Ground Zero has managed to score every single game. Renegades, they had some trouble just getting booted up, it felt like, in games 1 through 3. And we saw a completely different squad in games 4 through 6. So keep your eye on Ground Zero.
Currently feels like the biggest determining factor of whether Mindfreak are playing well or not is, do they score first?
Do they score?
First, they just become a nightmare to contend with. Fever going for a big fake. See if he can get the defense off the initial line of the ball. And Requiem just throwing a few punches on the goal line. And Fever, he gets it for free. Amphis backed up. He had 73 boost. What happens? Comes off the goal line.
What a pinch.
Oh, he has to back up because he's off the goal line. He doesn't have an angle at that ball, so he's trying to get a better angle, and it takes too much time, and Fever recovers.
I think Amphis just believed too hard on the, oh my goodness, Express the other end. What a way to tie it up. A kickoff goal, man, there could not be a better time to get the kickoff goals for Ground Zero.
Absolutely, much needed. Express narrowly dodges a demo. Caveman Ben, flat-footed, expecting to have a lot of time to work with there, ended up with 0, and right back on that score column come Ground Zero.
There's Fever looking for a kickoff goal of his own. Nice trap, gets it onto the backboard. Express doesn't touch it. Requiem tries to go for the slow play, but Amphis not going to be beaten here in the, just enough of just a positional block that Requiem shot is wide. Now Requiem out to the edge, back into the midfield. Here's Caveman Ben looking for the lead once more. It's wide of the goal again. Jules trying to set up Amphis, going for it himself actually. Fever was ready for the play. Drops it.
Great support.
To Caveman Ben, and then Caveman Ben back to Fever. Looking for Requiem in front of the box. There's Requiem. 2 goalies get up and in his way.
Yeah, Fever just missed that. If he makes contact with that ball, I think the defense is toast. But since it was able to roll down at its original pace, defense able to make the adjustment, pull it away from the shooter. There's a nice demo in the midfield. It's a scramble back, and they just get a tip on Jules. The flashbang on Caveman Ben. Spawn and dead. Thankfully, his teammates were able to buy him just enough time.
Yeah, I think Jules maybe moving a bit too fast for his own good there. Got underneath the ball on what was a go-ahead goal shot. Requiem to beat 2. Hits his brakes, gives Amphis time to come in on that play. And now Fever back over, now into midfield. Caveman Ben going to take midfield boost, lead the ball for Requiem. Comes out of the corner, nice touch in the midfield, and Amphis with a response. Wonderful read. Demolition to Caveman, open up space, pass into the midfield. Oh, Requiem comes out of the corner, gets himself another Savior medal. I think I've said that every game so far. Out to the edge, Jules to quickly turn on this. He's got lots of boost and a player underneath him. There's Express. Amphis lofts it. Jules had turned. Does he turn back around? Amphis with a shot, and Requiem with a stop off the backboard. Approaching halftime. Mindfreak. They did score first, but it was immediately equalized.
Ooh, free ball.
Can they get that lead back? Requiem with Caveman behind him, just trying to keep it bouncy. And Express gets up and in his face. Jules nearly getting bumped. Requiem number 1. Oh, Jules gets it away.
Some dangerous approaches here from Requiem. Not the most controlled, but definitely making the defense think. Amphis as well, expecting a lot better control on his approach here. Still digs it out to the middle, and Jules is denied. Fever with a big stop.
Express and Jules connected on a wonderful play, but just slow enough for the defense to get in that way. I believe it was Fever once more with the save. Now a flick from Amphis. Fever gets up, puts it onto the backboard. Follow from Jules is too high and cleared by Fever. 1:40 left to go. Mindfreaks on match point. They win this game. They sweep the finals and become your OCE RLCS X Fall Major champions. Caveman Ben to the edge.
Kind of just starting to trip over each other a little bit. Shot target. Jules trying to jam it home, but Mindfreak definitely managed to settle the nerves here, but now's the time where you got to make sure you don't make a silly mistake, and that is a much-needed clear from Caveman Ben.
Oh, that demolition and a long, long shot. Fever just continues to be the strongest player on the pitch. Always back just enough to clear the long cheese goals from ground zero. They're looking for the easy ones. Here's the infield pass, and he's going to block that one too. Fever literally covering up everything. He's one step ahead of ground zero the entire time. Here's an opportunity from Jules, but he misses the touch. Amphis isn't there. Requiem gets it to the sky. 48 seconds left, and we're still tied at 1.
And that is a touch you need to drill if you're Jules. You knew you had Fever in a bad spot. It's just make square contact. Comes up empty, lets Mindfreak off the hook, and overtime looming now.
Jules to the midfield, 30 seconds left, and Fever will dump it in. Gets intercepted. Amphis to the corner. Ground zero cannot afford a Mindfreak goal. Fever's gonna try and make it happen. Jules to the corner, Fever's gonna steal the boost instead of looking for the play. Your trusted Requiem in behind him. Requiem's gonna lose control. Express takes it to midfield, picks up a full tank. He could try to dribble this one, but Fever just tackles him out of net. Does not give them any time alone with the ball. 4 seconds left, and we're tied up. Maybe overtime for the first time in the finals. Fever takes it to the sky. He's out of boost, just reaching the ball. It'll drop down. Overtime, game 4. Mindfreak score. They're the champions.
Well, initially coming in, you're thinking Caveman Ben's going to be the guy to watch, but it's really been Fever on defense, making the big saves here. Requiem as well have put on a defensive showing here in game 4, and Caveman Ben trying to set up Fever off the mark.
It was wide, just a bit of the post. Requiem coming in for the kill. Amphis out of the midfield, beaten by Fever again. It's into the orange corner. Requiem back out. Amphis trying to advance forward, hoping his teammates come back for it. And Fever's going to try and get back behind this ball. It takes a whole awkward hop. Now Jules to the corner. Caveman Ben trying. Jules covers it up into the box, looking for the dish. Requiem's got the clear. There was no touch from Jules. Requiem's got it all the length of the field. And a touch from Express. Dangerous here. Fever's going to try and make him pay for it. It's locked in front of the goal. Here comes Caveman Ben for the win. Onto the backboard. 2 defenders up. They've got the save. Caveman Ben not there. Fever beaten by Jules. And now Amph is advancing. They've got Requiem on his back foot. He's going to try and take it all the way to the backboard. And he's going to block it from Express. He put it too high. Fever covers up Jules. Caveman Ben on the counterattack. Nobody home and goal. Amph comes out of nowhere for the save. What a rotation.
Chance after chance for Ground Zero. They've had so many opportunities to put this one away, and here's another. Amph is going for the crazy redirect. Requiem able to just get the nose on it. Ground Zero, can you put one away?
Fever to the edge, trying to pass to Requiem, covered up by Jules. Caveman Ben back to Fever. Back to Caveman Ben for the win. Amph in the way. Amph has been the defender of the gods. Ground Zero, stay alive and look for the counterattack. Here's this press. No, Caveman Ben's got it.
Amph with a masterclass save. Combined
no.
with the pass.
No,
you're kidding. Okay, Express, thank you for being there. It can't end like that.
I've said no one's home twice, and someone's just barely stuck their foot in the door jamb. Both times. Been like, no, I'm still here. Express out to Amph. Requiem now to the corner. That I genuinely believe that was the end of the game at Chiefs. I'm get back into casting mode. 2 minutes in. Fever looking for Requiem. Jules out. This bounce is not good for either of his teammates. Caveman Ben's going to get there. But neither of his teammates able to follow up his touch, so Amph takes this control. Does he get he got the flip reset off the ceiling, and he does actually, I think, technically use it there. But it just turns out to be a normal setup now. Dangerous. Here comes Jules. Not able to get it through Requiem. Still dangerous. Here's Amph, and it's just wide. Fever, you can feel the frustration coming off the Ground Zero Octanes right now. They've had it in the bag so many times, and the ball's been just wide every shot.
And Amph did have to hit a perfect shot if they wanted to score there. The defense was in position, but you're absolutely right. Still frustrating. Dish to Jules, can't really handle it. A little too hot for him, has to backflip and kill it. Ball's gonna die in midfield. Jules will get there.
I'm not gonna say it when there's someone on the back line. Ground Zero has proven that they can reach most balls. Fever to the edge. Caveman Ben now. He's using the wall as that fourth teammate to pass to. Jules back in front. Just trying to pile him up in the corner. Here's Fever off the wall. He's got a lot of boost, but he's lost this ball. He's going to try and just get on top of it, take it away. Caveman Ben on the backboard. Here comes Requiem. Jules is going to beat him to it, and now it's out to Amph. Back down the field. Shot is good. No, woo! Oh my gosh, the save that turns into the pass. One player in the backfield. Off the demolition, Jules respawn in and becomes the fortunate third man. Down to the air, he's got Express in the midfield. He's out of boost, though. He gets it over the top of him, but Fever will have a routine clear.
Like the play from Jules, definitely trap the ball, earn possession, make sure you've got it. Fever with a bad clear. Jules to nail it. This time he's not gonna miss. We'll see you in game 5.
How did this one go in? Off the backboard, Fever finally makes not the perfect touch. That's what it took. Just a slight they needed to know that Fever was human to possibly win this game, and now Ground Zero's got him downloaded, Chiefs. Here we come. Here's the reverse sweep, I believe.
Yeah, sets it up for destruction again for Mindfreak. A fantastic game 5, but man, you had to think that Ground Zero were going to win this one with how many good looks they had on goal. It really just came down to execution. I felt like they had so many chances to nail the back of the net and just couldn't quite get the job done. But after 14 shots and how many saves? 5, 9, 10, 11 saves from Mindfreak.
If you told me after watching that game that one team had 11 saves, I would have been like, Ground Zero absolutely had 11 saves. I mean, the saves in overtime, I'm blown away. There's only 5 saves on this team, but my goodness, the being on the brink, a spider's thread over a candle flame that team was, and they crawled up it, and they're still alive, and we're going to game 5. I can't believe it. Oh boy, Ground Zero coming. I mean, we're looking at the semifinals all over again, Chiefs.
It feels that way. It definitely felt that way. And you need to be careful if you're Mindfreak. You cannot continue to allow some of those scary approaches that Ground Zero had. And it necessarily wasn't because Amphis was really throwing it back into the mix. It was just Mindfreak weren't able to control the boost as much as they liked. And they were really forced to follow that ball horizontally across the pitch and kept pulling them out of rotation. So they had to make a lot of diving stops, and some good backboard defense was required as well. So Mindfreak really put through their paces in that one on defense. But over time, yes, Ground Zero had their fair share of scares.
Well, we'll see here. Moving to the corner, Fever looks for Requiem. Over the top, is it in? The keynote achieves on that last game. Mindfreak did score first.
Yep.
But ended up losing the game. I genuinely do believe the instantaneous equalizer was key there. So they try to reach for that. Requiem not going to quite make contact. Caveman Ben, this ball's going to be over his head, and Fever's going to come into that corner to try and pick it up. The only player that could possibly make the play, Express, just dunks him.
A little heavy, though, on that touch into the mid, but that is a tough one to control when you've got that much speed driving around the corner. You can't really fault Express for not putting that one in a scoreable spot.
Express looking for Amphis. Jules, rather. There's a long touch. Amphis up for it on the defense. Tries to pass down to Jules. It's a ball up in midfield for Express. Now, Caveman Ben and Fever. Right now, Mindfreaks. Team that has they finally do not score in the first minute. And honestly, they have struggled to find scoring opportunities. The ball spent so much time in their half. The pressure has been excellent. There's another one. A good opportunity. Caveman Ben gets beaten in the air. These midfield challenges from Ground Zero, they are starting to wake up.
Yeah, that was a beautiful diving stop from Express. Here's a chance. Can he beat Caveman Ben? He pulls that out.
What? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. What a stop. Defense galore. Watch this series back for the masterclass on how to do it when you can't. Jules off to the corner. Now, can he find a teammate? He's got lots of control over on this side. He's got two enemies baited with him. K-Man Ben gets the clear, and now looking for the counterattack on the far side. He's got to get it past Amphis. Traps it against him. Requiem to try to finish it. But Jules going to lose control to Fever.
Wow.
Fever's 50.
Fever.
Yeah, his challenges have still been strong, even in this game where they've looked the weakest.
Just able to lock that ball in the opposition's corner when you really don't have much of a play to continue offense and let everyone get settled in the midfield right behind you. It is an underappreciated skill, as that is bombed up the pitch from Express. Caveman Ben forced into another tough clear, and again, that pass from the backboard from Ground Zero, a little too much heat on it, and can't really do much with it.
Fever just blasted from the midfield. Requiem's going to try and pass across to Caveman Ben, who is rotating out for boost, so he won't be there for the shot, and that ends up just giving the ball over. Jules now going to look to try and get a pass. Fever sees the play coming, gets it through too. Now Express gets it past Requiem. Nobody in the backfield, gets the demolition on the Caveman, and this is a big deal. Achieves Express, and Ground Zero score first.
Yeah, Express heating up now, maybe a little bit later than he would have liked, but he is now seeing Caveman Ben make a couple of diving stops in this game and decides to just completely remove him from the equation. And like you said, the first goal in favor of Ground Zero. And for once, Mindfreak got a play from behind in the grand finals.
We'll see how this goes. Caveman Ben off the wall. Kind of caught flat-footed. Requiem's got to try and just give him a little bit more space to figure out what's going on. Amphis looks for the flip reset. Here comes a follow from Express. Sends it really high. Now Jules up for another one. Onto the backboard once more. Can he double tap it? No, Fever gets it away. And now Fever looking for the challenge on Amphis. Express into the corner. Caveman Ben. Out and does what a brilliant shot. Fever with an excellent save off that backboard. Here's Caveman. Express trying again and just, achieves. I just want to point out once more the difference in the level of control. Ground Zero spending so much time on offense in this game.
Yeah, they're doing a much better job making sure those touches are light, and now that they know all they got to do is waste time, it is imperative. You really just take a big page out of Mindfreak's book if you watch the semifinals. There is nothing wrong with kicking the ball back to your own half, going for a dribble, forcing a challenge. That wastes precious time off the clock, and now that they're under a minute, it's even more powerful. Jules just trying to bomb it away, and Caveman Ben forced to try and control it with the challenge coming at him.
Fever off the wall. Under one, a bump on Amphis. This could be deadly. He gets the demolition. Can Requiem scoot it in? He sure can. Not going to miss that one. Tie game with 30 seconds left.
Fever somehow able to get 2 bumps, just drills Amphis into the sidewall and obliterates the man behind him as well. Requiem, great car control. Easy to get a little antsy when you realize you've got all the daylight in the world and a must-score goal in front of you. And he turns it in nicely.
Caveman been on the wall now. 30 seconds remaining. Jules to try and take the lead right back. Fever's got to clear. There's nobody on the edge other than Requiem. He's going to move forward. Jules gets the demolition onto him, rotating back onto offense. Here's Amphis underneath one. Here's a pass across to Jules. It's wide. Requiem gets the save. Caveman Ben behind him. Moving up. Express takes it to the air. Looking like overtime for 2 games in a row, possibly. We played nearly an entire extra game of Rocket League in Game 4. And we'll start the clock counting upwards until someone scores. If Mindfreak put it in, they will be your OCE champions.
Very well executed equalizer. Now just how do they handle this overtime? It was a wonderful one last time, but you really need...
No.
Oh, great clear. And you're hoping that Mindfreak able to come up with another one of those big demos that got him a goal and perhaps avoid the 4 minutes and close goal line stops from ground zero.
Double commit. Caveman been on the wall. Amphis out of the double commit, grounded himself on the backboard, and he was able to get that clean clear. Double commit not going to be difficult here. Fever up for this one. He's got him beat, but the shot not on target. It's off to the corner. Amphis picks up the boost. Sends it back. Caveman stops it, sends it back to midfield. Jules just lofted high. Set it up for Express to try and take over.
You're loving that calm, cool collectedness from Fever on the back line. It's been invaluable for Mindfreak. And again, another decent touch. Requiem, the support. That is what's important. He doesn't get a good first touch from his teammate, but the support to follow up and turn it into a decent clear is what really sets a good defense apart from a great one.
Here's Requiem, looking to win it all. This overtime has been significantly more neutral than the previous game. We've seen the ball around the edges and in the midfield. A few little opportunities here and there, but not quite the heart-wrenching moments. This Caveman Ben's going to challenge Express and gives the ball to Requiem. He's got Fever behind him. Ball nicely touched by Jules. And now 2 players committed there. Fever and Caveman Ben right on top of each other. It's all up to Requiem as he's getting pressured here. Plays it to the ceiling. Now back down, gets the beat on Express as well. Requiem bailing out his entire team and gets him all the way back into the back third of the opponents.
Ooh, dangerous.
Caveman Ben, can he get up? He gets it away. Excellent counterattack. From ground zero, Fever looks for the backflip shot. He pinched it off the ground.
Yeah.
Pass to Caveman is good. Jules couldn't catch it. Amphis trying to stretch it out. Fever with the loft.
Oh, they're all stuck in the corner here. And that is a much-needed catch from Jules there. Ground zero was about to just get tongue-tied up in their own corner if that one got jammed back in it.
Oh, here comes Requiem on the 1v1. The challenge was good for Amphis. But here, to Caveman Ben. Towards the upper 90, Amphis has got this one, but that's not the best of clears. A soft touch into the midfield again, and Jules will help the distance out. Everyone from Mindfreak's a little bit further back, playing safe in overtime. Caveman up for it, up against Amphis. What a challenge. Amphis got this one all the way back down. Fever in the corner, full tank, a boost beaten by Amphis. Requiem's got the stop under the passer, and now under the second man as well. Jules backing off, but still the ball over his head. And now Fever trying to challenge Express. Express with so much time to read, gets it away. With the pressure slowly creeping back.
He's overdone
in Mindfreak's favor, and Caveman Ben into 2 goalies will win it all.
Express and I believe it's Jules here get tied up on the backboard. They were staring at Requiem because Requiem jumped from so far away. They're both so transfixed with his approach, trying to figure out where the ball's going to go. And then Caveman Ben lands in the corner and smashes one. What a play from Mindfreak to close it out.
What a play indeed. It took them 5 games to knock out the defending champions, but Mindfreak are your OCE, RLCS, full major.